This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
What is spiritualism? According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, spiritualism, in reference to religion, is a movement that gained a lot of popularity during the late 1800s, although it had been growing in popularity since the earlier half of the century. It often includes holding seances and contacting the dead via a medium, and a Ouija board is one method in which said mediums apparently do so. According to a 2013 article by Smithsonian magazine, the Ouija board, as it's known today, was invented by a man named Elijah Bond, whose sister-in-law asked the board what it should be named. Creepy, right? Wait, a Ouija board? But don't Hasbro market Ouija boards as a toy for kids, you may ask?
You're goddamn right.
Yep, they even own the trademark for the name, at least according to the US Patent and Trademark Office.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Of course, with all this controversy and history behind the board, someone has to have tried to capitalize on such a phenomenon by now. Insert the 2014 film, Ouija. I've seen the film, and I thought it was very mediocre at best. While it isn't the worst film ever made, I wouldn't watch it again, at least by my own choice. I'm not reviewing that movie today, but there are plenty of reviews out there about it. Now, what if you took that movie and made the villain a shark? Now we have the subject of this review. A shark that comes out of a Ouija board. I'm legally obligated to review stuff like this, okay guys? Without further ado, on with the review.
Polos is life, 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 sleep all night and then Polos is life.
We were all expecting this production logo, but this one is a first for me.
The line is, say what? Say what?
This woman gets impatient waiting for her friends at a meeting place, and then heads to wherever they were supposed to be heading after waiting for 5 minutes. She heads down to the beach, and I'm getting flashbacks to Jurassic Shark. She swims in this very polluted looking water. Where's she swimming, the Thames? Instead of a shark straight up attacking her though, we get the surprise of our lives when it's a Ouija board. Quite an old looking one at that. The girl then meets up with her friends and we actually get some names for these characters. Jill, Kim, Jen, Donna and Tiffany. Just wanted to get that out of the way so I don't have to use nicknames or Girl 1, Girl 2, etc. They're having a pool party apparently.
Oh no! I feel like something's got me! It's dragging me towards the pool! The horror! The horror!
She said she wanted to get wet as soon as she got here.
What?
What?
Tiffany creeps on some guy hosing down his car, and the rest of the girls mess around in the pool while some heavy guitar plays in the background. The rest of the movie hasn't really had much music, although the rock music continues during this car washing scene, which I knew was gonna happen as soon as Tiffany approached that guy. Jill presents the hoo-ha board to her friends.
Is that a hoo-ha board?
And they ask it some spooky questions.
Are you a good spirit?
Uh-oh. That's a no.
The board then keeps spelling out the word hungry before spelling the word die, and I think they summon the shark through some Adobe After Effects editing. Jill has a nightmare that night and calls her dad, who is then possessed by Freud momentarily.
Dreams can be a doorway to the unconscious mind. I've told you that before.
He scolds her about messing around with the occult, before going to do some research on sharks in dreams. From what I could find on dreamsandmythology.com, shark dreams could have multiple meanings, but the one that's most relevant to this film is there being an imminent danger in the characters' lives. I think that's obvious from the film title, to be honest.
Oh yeah, you should totally do that. I mean, we can do whatever you like.
And the Oscar goes to...
So this couple are on this super awkward date, and I thought that this was their first date, but I don't even think that they're officially dating. Regardless, he wanted to ask the girl, Cassie, something, but is interrupted.
What the hell is what?
What the freak?
Oh, thank God, it's going after him first.
The shark ends up eating the guy in a cutaway flash shot before chasing the girl, who attempts to fend off the shark with a stick.
You're a fucking idiot!
Not a very useful weapon, I'd say. This kill is still a cutaway, but it's slightly more interesting as we get a disembodied arm shot with some blood.
Personal space, dude. Want a hit?
You know, sometimes I really think you can be a bit too relaxed. Donna tries to be all friendly with the shark before actually doing a Freud impression, and the pair disappear with a thunderclap.
I suspect you're a figment. Do you think you are a figment?
I'm confused. Did he teleport her away or did he kill her? The same argument could be made for that guy earlier. The Ouija board has disappeared, and Jill is really defensive about it. Meanwhile, her dad reads us some exposition about how sharks are masters of survival and stuff. He does some tarot readings, and I guess this guy has been established as this film's version of Jack from Killer Sofa. While out shopping for some groceries, Jen finds the Ouija board in the middle of the path, but gets creeped out and leaves it there. Meanwhile, Cassie's mum grows concerned and files a police report, and the police chief calls his drunken brother-in-law to get on the case. There is some sloppy editing between the two men, as there is a few seconds before the line delivery whenever it cuts back to the police chief.
What's so important? Missing teens. You get your butt down there, or I'll forget that my wife is your sister and fire your sorry ass.
The officer, who goes to take a piss in the stairwell, hears some strange noises before being eaten by the shark. That's right, folks, the return of the apple bite sound effect. I didn't even have to edit it in myself this time! Jen is chased and killed by the Ouija Shark, and I couldn't stop laughing at the idea of what it was like to be filming this, you know, without the effects. Kim sees Donna's arm in the water, which I guess answers my question from earlier, and is then eaten in a cut effect by the shark. Spirit. Thing.
I don't know.
Tiffany and Jill are chased throughout the woods, and at first I couldn't tell if the drums used in the backing track were drums or high heels running down an echoey hallway. Maybe a broken washing machine?
Get down!
The issue with scenes like this is you know exactly how they filmed them. There is no suspense of disbelief. The actors are in the woods, they say get down, and then they edit in a worm's eye shot of the woods with a stock shark overlay. I could make the same scene.
Wait, what's that? Get down.
While running away from the shark, Tiffany trips over nothing, and the girls are separated before Tiffany is killed by the shark. This guy, dressed in his best Sith Lord cosplay, approaches Jill with the board, confessing that he is actually its original owner.
I mean, who the hell are you?
I know of the board. It belongs to me. The spirit of the shark was placed within it by me.
I can't tell if this guy's voice is text-to-speech, or if the filter is just really thick and the line delivery is very flat. Regardless, I found it really hard to make out what he was saying the first time I watched this. This scene repeats.
Oh shit. Where'd she go?
And the mysterious guy disappears. Jill hides in a cabin to try to find a way to put the shark back into the board, while Jill's dad goes to see a medium, who says distracting the shark with spooky ooky medium powers would be too perilous, leading to this scene.
Come on, you son of a...
You know, at least the guy just wanted to protect his daughter. That's honourable at least. The police chief also comes across the shark spirit, hides in the cabin, and Jill and the police officer hold a seance to find a helpful spirit. Since they've lost the planchette, they use the gun instead. To her horror, Jill's dad replies.
Dad? That means... Oh god, not you too.
I've got to use my occult training. Mystic Shield!
Scratch all of that. This movie is awesome. It's up there with House Shark. Jill then delivers the final blow when she shoots the Ouija board, causing it to blow up. I'm not sure that that's how that would work, but she was at close range to be fair. Just before the credits roll, there is a scene where the Sith Lord guy calls Donald Trump of all people.
The project appears to have been a success.
Right, I got it. How did the experiment go? It's really important.
Haha, get it guys? Like Finn? Finished? Finn? The movie ends with an original theme song, which I always like with silly movies like this. It's very charismatic.
Now you've summoned something from the deep, something dark and something mean. Now everybody's dead. It's the Ouija Shark.
I'm very lost when it comes to the plot of Ouija Shark. I like that they've tried to touch on a wider lore of the movie's universe, but there are quite a few unanswered questions. Like loads of these movies, a sequel was released, and I hope that all of these loose ends are explained. I would be happy to watch that for as stupid as this movie was. It was fun. I didn't really like the effects in this movie. I thought they let the movie down. I understand that budget constraints can be an issue, but we didn't see any bodies and all of the kills were off screen or the person just disappeared. The effects do look like they've improved a lot in screenshots I've seen from the sequel, however, so there is that. The sound design of the movie is also a bit odd. It wouldn't shock me if they weren't using mics. I actually edited the audio for my review so that it was easier to hear the dialogue. This is what it sounds like unedited.
Guys, this is my friend Jill, my old roomie from college.
Hi.
I'm Jen, this is Donna and Tiffany. Guys, this is my friend Jill, my old roomie from college.
Hi.
I'm Jen, this is Donna and Tiffany.
There is also a fan noise in the background in one of the scenes, like this is one of my older videos. The passage of time is also not demonstrated very well. As far as I know, this story takes place over 48 hours, but the scene where the girls wake up and Jen goes to buy groceries just looks like it was filmed on the same day as the earlier scenes. There are also some similarities to other sharksploitation films, like the spirit effect puppet reminds me of the film Ghost Shark, and the whole spiritual motif reminds me of Shark Exorcist. There was even a car washing scene in Ghost Shark. I'm not saying that this movie was influenced by those films, but there are a lot of reoccurring tropes in these movies. So much so that when I first made this series, I thought of making a checklist of tropes to tick off. I might actually start doing that. Overall, I would recommend this film while it is very low budget, because it doesn't take itself too seriously, and I did laugh at a lot of the sillier moments. Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to follow me on social media as they are all linked in my description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
The blue and green ones are my favorite kind, but I'll eat the colored ones from time to time, 'cause Polos is life, 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 Polos is life. Sleep all night.